those of you that don't know me, my name is Margaret Mary Catherine Frances Fitzgerald the First. Does anybody else have that name? So it's settled, it's just me. But yeah, Margaret Mary Catherine Frances Fitzgerald, it rolls really easily off the tongue if I do say so myself. But with a name like that, I'm obviously still a virgin. Any ideas? But I was never allowed a nickname growing up. I was really hoping for like a Maggie or Margot, but most people just call me Margaret. My parents call me a burden. You guys can say whatever and I'll probably respond. I don't really have a lot of self-confidence when it comes to that. And I don't really find myself finding that much more this late in life. Something could have been going on in my life. I recently quit my job. To be fair, I quit a job 8 years ago. But I've learned that when you tell people that you quit a job, boy are they impressed. You guys all just applauded, but everyone's like, you should have got on there years ago, like, they didn't deserve you, like, that was a toxic work environment. I'm like, okay, I quit, thank you so much. But the truth of the matter is that I actually lost my job a few months ago, which is a real doozy. But I found out that when you tell people that you lost your job, boy are they sympathetic. It's a lot of people asking like, oh, do you need me to spot you money, or can I buy you this coffee, do you need to go for a walk? And it's between like the encouragement I'm getting from quitting a job and the empathy I'm getting from losing a job, it's like, why are we even working? You know what I mean? Like, does anybody actually like what they're doing? But I am employed, so I am spending a lot of time at home, a lot of time alone, a lot of time not doing anything, which has its pros and cons. I would definitely say more cons. I'm referring to this time period as like my on-abroad period. I feel like a lot of my friends are like traveling, buying houses, getting married, having babies. I'm very much on house arrest. Self-prescribed for my own self-preservation, financially, physically, emotionally, mentally. So we're not doing a whole bunch, unfortunately. I'm spending a lot of time just like on my phone and not even like responding to texts in a normal time period. Just days go by and I'm like, oh, I should text them back. But spend a lot of time on Google just asking the internet questions. One of my recent inquiries was, when does a snake's tail become its tail? There's the snake part of it, but at what point you're like, that's the tail. The internet had no answers, so I broke the internet. Another favorite question I recently asked is, how many raccoons can fit in a human anus? 4. What? Who tested that one out? I don't know. And then my personal favorite is, if I eat a seed and then eat a lot of dirt, will a plant grow inside of me? Yes. We have men in both Arizona and in the UK to thank for their own at-home experimentation. So that's interesting, right? But I don't want you to think that I'm like absolutely squandering this time that I have to myself alone forever. I'm trying to, I'm learning Spanish, Duolingo. It's not really great, but I have found out some fun facts that I thought I'd share with you all. Did you know that the average age to be murdered is 29? Interesting. But the average age to be murdered, 35. Is anyone finding themselves in this age bracket? Run for the plucky, my dear. And I know you're all thinking, Margaret, there's no way you're that old. Bitch, I'm 32. So for the first time in my life, I found myself directly in the center of 2 places basically dying for me to be a part of them. Because do I want to kill people every day over like certain instances that I have with them? Absolutely. Do I want to die all the time? Sign me up. It does feel very interesting to be wanted by like 2 sides of the party. So I can't complain. Did you guys have like bring your kids to work day growing up when you go work with your parents? I remember being so excited because I finally got to figure out what my dad was doing from 8 to 5 every day. So I remember getting on my little business girl suit and walking to my dad's office with him, and he brought me into this little room, and there was about a pile of papers as tall as me, and I just spent the entire day shredding paper, and I was like, this is what my dad does? He was absolutely a lawyer, but to me, I was like, what is it? I was MVP, call it nepotism, I don't know, but like, I was amazing at that job. And realizing that society, you know, we're becoming more progressive and, you know, we're trying to be on the frontier of things. And I kind of realizing that maybe this is the turning point of us having put to rest some antiquated traditions. Therefore, I suggest bygone are the days of bring your kid to work day, and I'm suggesting bring your friend to work day. And I do believe that this is when employers should allow every employee, once a quarter, I don't know, to bring one friend who's, I don't know, unemployed, hates their job, just doesn't really know what's going on, and just let them see what's going on at the workplace. Because I have a lot of friends, humble brag. I have a lot of friends who have jobs, and they tell me their titles, and I'm like, head of logistic, what does that even mean? But maybe, if I was exposed to those elements, maybe I'd be really good at it, maybe I would thrive, but I'll never know, because I was never given the opportunity. You know? It's genuinely one of my biggest fears, and I'm just living this life and I'm not doing what I didn't know existed to do. My biggest fear is that I actually am an egg donor. And I donate my eggs, and then years from now I'm sitting in Delta first class, and my seat neighbor is my egg donor daughter. And then my second fear is piggybacked off of my first fear, so I'm sitting in Delta first class years from now, and my egg donor daughter is next to me, and I'm like, what do you do, daughter, that I didn't know about? And she tells me, and it's my dream job. That's I cannot imagine anything worse, and it fills me with so much anxiety and fear that I wish I could have that opportunity. So, that is to say, after the show, if anyone's interested, I am free Monday through Friday, Saturdays and Sundays. Ideally, I'm not looking for a work from home situation, because I was telling you how I'm doing a lot of the alone time already. So ideally something that gets me out and about would be good. I don't bring a lot to the table. If you're ever wondering what the inspiration behind Creed's 1999 Human Clay album was, arms wide open and door to a normal childhood very much closed. I would say from the time that I was about 30 months old until I was able to register to vote, my mom treated me like her life-size doll. I would say any family gathering, bank holiday, any really scenario, this is the garb which I was wearing. This is like a Thursday in ordinary life. A feather boa, a flower. And I'm sure you're all wondering, but Margaret, where does one find the trappings to look like a Victorian-era child ushering us to our seats for the latest guillotine? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Gibraltar Trade Center. Gibraltar Trade Center was a getaway for Metro Detroiters. It was the size of 6 football fields. It was more or less like a flea market, but it's where one could go to buy a family firearm, rental rug, throwing stars, a hot pretzel, and some of these dresses. For me, it was 600,000 square feet of torture, but my mom doesn't like me to say that. But I would say probably from the time I was 1 year old until I was 16, 17, I would go to Gibraltar Trade Center with my mom 4, 5 times a year. And in the beginning, it was kind of understandable for the storekeeper not to say anything. But there was definitely a time when I was 12, 13, 14 when I would be crying in the dressing room, being I don't want to do this anymore. And they're like, you look very good. Cut the act already. This is horrible. Luckily for me, Gibraltar Trade Center did close in 2017. It ironically opened the year of my birth. So I'm still trying to figure out some big event in my life that happened in 2017 to kind of mark the beginning and the end of something, but nothing's really come to me. So you're just getting this little picture to look at for a little while longer. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sure you're all thinking I have stories to tell Margaret. I want to share something about why I am the way I am. Well, I'm on the stage right now and you all pay tickets, so it's my turn to talk and I will not be silenced. I'm just kidding, thank you so much. I appreciate you and you all are better than me. Yeah, just to kind of clear the air on any questions that any of you may have of why I am the way that I am. I just want to kind of give you a rundown of what was going on in the Fitzgerald household for the past 32 years. We're going to be discussing a few topics this evening, just so you'll clarify. Sex, death, and showbiz baby.